So, you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Greenlight. Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Spotify. Greenlight.com/Spotify.
Mega is an improvised satire from the staff of a fictional megachurch.
We are here, the Lord, we are here, and we're ready to podcast.
Hiya, I'm Hallie Labont, and this is Mega, coming to you from Twin Hills Community Church, where every single week we're giving our mega church a tiny family feel. We love to introduce you to members of our church staff and people from our community, and I always find it to be a treat and a treasure. And per usual, I'm joined by my co-host. He's the youth pastor for our high school ministry called Climax. Please welcome Gray Haas.
There's nothing left to say, but Jesus is the way. Hallie, how are you?
Too blessed to be stressed, too anointed to be disappointed, and way too grateful to be hateful. Well, just like Jesus said, if your right eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. Our guest today luckily still has 2 eyes in the front of his face. It's your friend and mine, Zan Different. How you feeling today, Zan?
I'm so good. Gray, Hallie, I'm just happy to be here. And I'm happy to be under the, I guess, beautiful, watchful eye of the Lord amongst you all on my computer.
Oh,
Awesome.
amazing.
Awesome.
Well, Zan, we're happy to have you. And when you reached out to me, I have to say the email you sent was an email that I get time and time again, which is, hey, Gray, I'm a guy who loves Jesus, Christ specifically, but, and there's always a but, I've struggled in the past with, and I'll say it, and if you've got young listeners in the car, go ahead and cover up the ears or put them outside of the car. Pornography.
Oh, it grieves the heart of God.
And I just thought this is a guy that we need to have on the podcast to not only talk about his struggle, but how he's overcome it.
Awesome.
And you said you've overcome it time and time again. Isn't that right?
That's right. And it was a hard email to send.
Oh, why? Was your computer not working?
Oh, no. I mean, not physically
okay.
hard. The kind of experience of sending the email technologically was fine.
Okay.
Emotionally, I will tell you something. I was in the throes of porn addiction.
Oh,
Right, when you sent the email.
Yes, it was probably the 18th, 19th, or 20th tab I had open. And it was just... I don't want to get into detail of what the other tabs were, but it was like, I need help. I need to be public about this. I need to release the shame. And so I wrote that email at like 3 a.m. I did a schedule send for 9 a.m. just so that you wouldn't think I was experiencing pornography when I sent it.
Well, some people would say that releasing the shame is part of the problem, but I've never used tabs, and that's maybe something that we should start with, isn't it, Hallie? That tabs maybe don't use tabs.
Well, I used to drink tab, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Now, quick question for you, Zan, and forgive me if this is too personal a question, but how do you know it's not just looking at dirty pictures and addiction? Like, what's the difference between a guy who gets some curiosity stumbling in the flesh and whatnot and a full-blown addiction?
I've had the same question, and just so you know, when you see me pulling that rubber band on my wrist, it's when something happens that makes me think of pornography. When you said full blown, I pulled it and let go of it.
I noticed that.
Yes, I noticed
that. Yeah. That looks like it hurts.
Get my mind off of the pornography. What it has accidentally done has made me very aroused in a Staples or an Office Max.
Right.
But I've had the same question, which I had for my partner. I didn't think I was addicted. And then one day, my Instagram feed fed me a video that looked an awful lot like me from an account called Your Shameful Husband. And I had found out that my wife had started an account about porn addiction featuring me.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought maybe there was a whole side story here where she had married someone that looks like you. And
oh, wow.
That was the first place my mind went as well.
So it was you.
It was
It
you?
was me, but I was like, well, I don't have a porn addiction. So I confronted her and I said, honey, have you married someone that looks exactly like me and live in a almost one-to-one version of our house, but this one has a porn addiction and I don't?
Wow.
I mean, it's like Black Mirror, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I guess I'm still a bit confused. Was it you or was it another man?
I should be incredibly clear here. She had to really spell it out for me. It was me.
Okay.
She was filming me and making this account about me, and it had kind of blown up on the internet, and it is educating partners who's are married to people who struggle, like I apparently do, with porn addiction.
Okay. Wow. So,
and I'm still, wouldn't that be a fun movie, Hallie, where, and you know, the porn stuff aside, because we'll get into that, but if you were just looking at Instagram and suddenly your whole life is on there, and you're like, that looks like me, that looks like my wife, but maybe it's, you know, maybe it's not you, maybe it's some kind of other reality.
well, with these deep fakes now and AI, you know, making videos, you can make anybody do or say anything. So you might
really?
want to have it checked. They used to do, DNA tests to see if that's your baby, but now we're going to need some kind of testing system to find out if that's you or a deep fake.
This is almost one for one the conversation I had to have with my wife before she finally clarified to me that no, it is a video of me. But I basically said, well, since it's not, maybe it's a good movie idea. I started thinking Adam Scott, Paul Rudd, or is this a little more Michael Shannon or something like that, a little darker?
Right. He's great.
Wonderful. But then we got into the conversations of AI and all of that. And finally she kind of shook me and said, you have a pornography addiction. This is about you. And
Wow.
it shook me.
And where was she filming you from? Was it kind of hidden camera style?
It was very hidden camera style. There was a while where I had started, you know, those videos where people are like, we thought we had a ghost or something, but someone was actually living above us and coming down and eating our food. I had started filming the house to see because I thought there was a ghost in it. Going back to the footage, it turned out it was just my wife setting up a lot of hidden cameras to catch me ogling. She had a video that went viral. The camera was in our fireplace, and it was of me rewatching the film Showgirls, kind of on repeat, not doing anything, of course, but you know, just obsessing, I guess, is what the video said.
Well, sure.
And I mean, you could argue that, you know, and I've never seen that film. I have no interest in seeing that film, but I have heard that, you know, probably your excuse was I was watching it for the acting, which is sometimes how we get into these problems because first we're going to a film for the acting and then it becomes pornography, doesn't it?
That's absolutely right. It's when I think of these movies, like something like anything by really a foreign director, I will chime in for the acting. I go, how is this guy communicating the notes to American actors and is it playing? And most of the time it's not. But sometimes you get great performances and that's kind of my way in. And then, of course, these foreign directors are not as prudish as we are about the body.
ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track. And ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
So good, so good, so good.
Get ready, cause Clear the Rack is on at your Nordstrom Rack store. Now through Monday, find incredible deals on Wear Now styles. On sale for even less at Nordstrom Rack. Take an extra 25% off red tag clearance throughout the store from brands like Free People, Steve Madden, Vince, and more. All sales final. The best stuff goes fast. So shop this sale at Nordstrom Rack today. Please see NordstromRack.com or ask a store associate for details.
Well, if I might offer you a word basket of encouragement, Zan, it's not your fault. I mean, this is a Goodwill Hunting moment right here. And I'm here to tell you, Zan, it's not your fault. And you know why? Because God made men to be very visual creatures. Mm-hmm. And the evil one seizes on that and puts all of these rumps on the back of girls and these big chests up top that are bouncing and buoyant and doing all this, smacking people in line at the grocery store and all that.
I hate that.
And you're a visual person. And so Lucifer knows to make porno a visual medium.
You'll have to excuse me during most of that monologue. I think I ripped the rubber band off there. You said a lot
do you
of
need a
things.
new
Do you
thick
need a new
one?
rubber band? I have
Do you
some
need a
right
you need
here.
a thick one,
There
a
you
thick
go.
rubber band.
If we can
There you
find
go.
another descriptive term there.
I have a
but yes, I
Livestrong
did.
bracelet.
Oh, a Livestrong bracelet would be good. Those are really thick.
That is actually the way to go. They don't have as much of a snapback,
Yeah,
but
they
I
don't
do
snap.
think maybe something a little bit with a little more gusto might
And
work.
a lot of people think I'm wearing this for Lance Armstrong. I'm not.
Oh.
This is Livestrong actually was something that I came up with long before he did. That was more about how to live strong in your faith.
Oh,
and
wow.
I just said, I'm going to keep wearing this because eventually his is going to go away. Mine is going to win. And hey, guess what? Mine did. Looks like I'm the champion now.
Time is beautiful that way, you know.
Yep.
Anytime someone is on a mountain, you know that they've got to go down the other side.
Yep.
It's
And
so
you-
true.
all you can do is wait.
It is
Isn't
so
that
true.
right?
Now, I mean, to your point, Hallie, about men and being visual, in your emails, Zan, I mean, I don't know if you meant to send me this, but you had sent a few screenshots in the email, and one of them was, you know, one of them was it was some kind of picture, and it just had the title "Stepmom, Big Bum, Head Stuck in Dryer," and I was like, I can see how. I thought you were just sending me an example of, if there's a stepmom with a big bum with a head stuck in a dryer, that's going to be a problem, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I when you said I sent you screen grabs and you weren't sure if they were an accident, I did have to hear which ones you got because I frequently do upload the wrong ones. But this one was the one I wanted you to see because I found that, again, shame is from hiding things.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so if I'm going to be speaking about something, I'm going to be speaking openly. And most of what my P***RN addiction is related to is people who have gotten into trouble who need help, in any sort of way. And so the hook is in deep with me with where the porn world has gone with helping out stepmoms, helping out step aunts, people getting stuck in dryers, getting their hands stuck in the garbage disposal. It's all things I've helped people out with in my own life. So the relatability is what I really wanted to speak to.
Oh, what do you do for your job?
I help people get unstuck from things.
Oh, really?
Awesome.
Really?
Wow,
I didn't know
is
that was a
really
job.
cool.
How would you
Wow.
Google that?
Yeah, it's like
It's very difficult right now, especially if a step family member has had the issue. I would recommend not putting the name of the step family member. Your first 50, 70, 80 results are going to be blurred out if you have the safe search on.
Right. So it's like if you're stuck in something, you maybe just put, I'm stuck. Maybe you're able to text being on your phone like I'm stuck under the table. I'm stuck with my head in the dryer. And hopefully your services come up and not some other
Exactly.
one.
You can call the fire department or an ambulance, but the company I work for is kind of like Uber for this situation, where if you don't want to pay the abhorrent medical bills, we will come by and unstick you.
So it's Uber for people who are stuck.
That
In a
is
sense.
cool. Well, I'll tell you what, my new Lexus sedan doesn't have 4-wheel drive, and I get stuck in the snow from time to time and could use a push. So I'm going to get in touch with you, Zan, and I'm going to have you show up behind me and give me a really
I think
big,
that's just called a
strong
tow truck,
push.
Allie.
Oh.
Well, I can get you pushed. I can push,
Yeah.
but I can't get you really out of. If you physically are stuck, great. A car or something like that. Gray is right. That would be more of a tow truck situation. And of course, if you were alone, would have to pay extra because I am a porn addicted man, and so I would have to bring along a second set of eyes to be with us, so that I wouldn't sin.
Is that how you deal with it now? Because even when you said about the, P-RN, like the first thing I thought was he's addicted to cheese. But, that's just because I've never even looked at this stuff. So like, I don't even think of things in those terms. But what are you doing to keep yourself accountable, both to your wife, her Instagram and her YouTube channel, which I've also just looked up, which has 450,000 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
How do you keep yourself accountable? Or is it hard? Because, also she's got to make content.
The word hard I have snapped once again, just on my arm there. But
okay, well, you did break the Livestrong bracelet.
Ow. I was not expecting this conversation to bring up so many feelings, but
hey, I've got another one. Here you go.
Ooh, a
Thank you so much.
WWJD.
I've got a Livestrong bracelet and a WWJ bracelet for every title that they took away from Lance Armstrong.
7, is that right, or is it more than that?
So I've got 7 here.
Well, I for me, I am still even coming to terms with this addiction. And it mostly became a thing where, like, my wife, unbeknownst to me, is making a fortune off of me. And these videos that feature my face and just her voice, she's rarely in them. And it constantly in situations where I don't think it's porn addiction, but then I'm learning from the comments that it is. So for me, it's just about open ears right now and open eyes. I spend a lot of times in the comments of YouTube videos and TikTok videos of me sinning, and I learn from what people say I should and shouldn't do.
Got it.
Wow.
And I mean, how many times a day were you looking at P-M? I'm sorry, N. Yeah, I just keep thinking about cheese.
Yeah, I want to be clear for if you maybe were letting your kids out of the car at some point to not hear this and you got back in, it's not a Parmesan conversation. It is.
That's right. And I did tell them, put the kids outside of the car for this conversation.
Ooh,
Yes.
I love parm. I'll put it on anything. I'll
Even
put it
though
on
it's cold
popcorn.
outside.
Ooh.
What? Oh, like a grated?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You bring it into the theater that way? Or
I
just
keep
at
a
home?
parm in my purse. I'll put grated parm on anything. I'll put it on popcorn, of course, but I'll also put it on a salad. I'll put it on anything.
Wow.
I mean, you layer it on top of your soup like a thick film on top. Parm is a strong cheese. It's good.
I toured a Parmesan factory once. And
Really?
was impressed to learn that the way that they test that the Parmesan is authentic and ready to sell is a man who is a specialist in this brings in a horse femur. It's a little bone.
Wow.
He sticks it into the Parmesan and then he smells it, and he can tell off of the horse femur.
Well, now,
That's
Hallie,
cool.
You're getting a bit fidgety. Just even,
Yeah.
I don't.
I need
maybe-
to start slapping my wrist.
maybe you
Talk
have a
about
parm
cheese.
addiction.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my. I'm getting a little hot under the collar.
Okay,
I'm going to
well, we
have to put it on the top of my prayer
We
list.
don't need to talk about any more men sticking bones into cheese. What are you doing? What are you doing? I guess is my question, Zan. Going forward, knowing, hey, you've got this job, an important job, helping people get unstuck, but you're also dealing with this absolutely crippling addiction. How have you found any support?
Through, of course, the same place. I mean, it's going to seem like a rote answer, but through the church.
Awesome.
What I have is a phone tree where now when you are feeling your addiction come up, You call someone on the tree, they call someone, and the closest person to you will come and talk you down or help you. For example, recently I was at a party with a lot of balloons that were kind of coming together in a way that was making me think of the female form, top or bottom, depending on the balloons.
Yeah, really.
And I had to try. I ended up calling Clay Wilson, who was out of town on business. So he then had 3 people to call, and that was Anna Schlumsky, Carla Henderson, and Jed. And Jed ended up being at the party. If I had known he was at the phone tree, I would have just turned to him and said, but I like to go by protocol. And he came, and he ended up taking the balloons out of my vision.
Wow.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. And I got to tell you, Zan, I mean, your work in recovery here is cut out for you, because I've heard food addicts, say the hard thing about being a food addict is you still got to eat. You can't cut it out like booze or heroin. Same thing with porno. I mean, you walk around the world and 51% of the population is there in front of your eyeballs with these backsides and these, we got this stuff up top as gals. And so everywhere you go, I mean, you turn on the TV and there's Sydney Sweeney in a 7-Eleven commercial, and she's got these jammers that just will make anyone stumble in the flesh.
Okay, well, there goes my next bracelet. Yeah.
You know what?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
It just
Yeah, don't bring that up, Hallie.
You are getting welts, it looks like. But you know what? It's cool that it's right in the same spot where the nail went through Jesus's hand. You know what I mean? You're hitting that same spot where he was crucified.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, when he hung on that cross, you know what he was thinking about while he hung there? He was thinking about those videos that you pull up that, I don't know what they are, but, I don't know what your search terms are, whether it's, breasts or bottoms or I don't even know, you might like toes. But Jesus was picturing you, sitting there in front of your laptop, in front of your phone, doing whatever you're doing when he hung on the cross.
You're saying like a scene in a movie where right when someone is about to die, they remember their whole life, but Jesus is able to see all of eternity forward and backward, and on his
all
way
the
out,
sins, all the moments of sin.
He sees them all at once. I didn't realize that was part of the way that his experience of the crucifixion is that he witnessed every scene all at once, sin all at once.
I mean, it had to be overwhelming, don't you think, of just like all at once, you're seeing just like all of the sins at the same time, forward and backwards.
If he was neurodivergent or anything like that, and it's a lot of stimulus all at the same time, and I can imagine him kind of freaking out on the cross like Ben Affleck in The Accountant.
Yeah, I mean, talking about pornography. Something happened to me recently, Hallie, that I'm not proud of, and it's not my fault. And I bet you can speak to this, Zan, which was, and just to give you a little backstory, and I know I've mentioned it before, but my friend Clay Mason Bannerman and I, it was his son's birthday. And his son, whose name is Popsicles, wanted to go to this new kind of Japanese style, I think it's called shamu or something, where
cool.
you dip meat in hot broth.
Oh, ooh.
And it, and so it just, first of all, I was like, I don't even know how old he is, but he's definitely under the age of 8. And I'm like, why does he want to go to a shamu restaurant?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a strange child, so we get there, and this is a long way of saying it, but you really shouldn't take a child who's age of 4, 5, 6 to one of these restaurants, because what was the first thing he did was he tried to put a piece of flossy, thinly shaved beef into a pot of boiling oil and tipped it all over the table. Now that ran off the side of the booth and directly into Clay's lap.
Oh no.
Now, Hallie, I don't want to go into details, but Clay was basically wearing what I would call the equivalent of an exercise pant that can also be worn for more formal occasions.
Cool.
Now, this pant is made from a highly breathable material, and what do you think the oil did? melted to his skin.
Oh no.
So now we're dealing with, we're at a shamu restaurant. We've got Clay screaming. It ruined Popsicles' birthday. And I have to Google quickly. I wish I had known your job, because basically I was Googling pants stuck to
genitals.
Yes. Shamu. And of course, like what you're saying, Zan, the first thing that came up, luckily I've got Covenant Eyes on my phone, was blurred out. It alerted my entire accountability group and, all those guys. And although we don't support each other physically in person, my phone started blowing up with all my friends. All that is to say, I've also been in a similar situation where life is throwing pornography at you, whether you like it or not.
Wow. Yep.
If I had a nickel for every time I heard a story just like that one.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. And it's a great question. And the answer is there is no good answer, because, you are stuck in this moment. Do I do the Christian thing, which is help my friend get unstuck here?
Yep.
Right.
Knowing that I'm going to be somehow, my brain is going to start going through some sort of journey when I see what's going on underneath his pants. Maybe I've already seen it on the way in if he's wearing something that is form-fitting like that. And I've had thoughts about this friend that I didn't realize that I was going to be having.
Wow.
And then I'm going to go home and look at his Instagram and scroll through and see if he's wearing those pants in other times. And then I'm going to linger on some of those. And there's no way around that other than thank God your friends were there, even by accident, to hold you accountable. And again, not physically to help you or be around you in any sort of way, but text you and shame you for the feeling you might have been.
Yeah. And, I've never had any feelings like that, but luckily my friends all agreed with me, which is maybe we should stop celebrating birthdays, especially for kids, because especially at restaurants like that, because I'm like, there's one thing that Jehovah's Witnesses get right, and it's no birthdays. I'm so freaking sick of them.
Well, kids make a mess in restaurants anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if this is too forward, but this is just out of curiosity. Are you two interested in children of your own, or?
I definitely, when I find the right lady, I'm going to be so interested in just having so many kids with a beautiful Christian lady. But right now I'm really busy.
And you know what, Zan? My husband, Lance Labont, and I, we've got a lot of kids. And I'll tell you what.
Oh, forgive me.
Oh, no, I have a teenage son named Day. I've got a handful of daughters. And I'll tell you what might put you off the porno is watch a live birth. And when you see what happens to the undercarriage of a woman when she's given birth, you might never want to see the female form again. Unless, you're into things like ground beef and really that kind of thinly shaved beef you were talking about at Shamu.
I wasn't talking about it like that.
But I just wanted to tell you, Zan, your wife is doing a lot of good for a lot of people. And, this is something that I think, I don't know, what percentage, do you have the numbers on what percentage of women's husbands are watching porn, even just like once a year,
I mean, and I will say, you're minimizing it. Once a year is addiction, which I learned.
Right?
Yes,
wow. Oh,
it's
really?
addiction. Because why would you be doing it that once if you weren't somehow feeling drawn to in a way that was hurting your own life?
Yep.
How many? So not how many men are watching porn, but your question is how many women's husbands are watching porn?
Yes. Yeah. What are the numbers?
I think, and this has only been studied because it's so hard to get the science and the religion to get together on certain things.
Right. Well,
but through my studies, I would say, and just conversations, 100.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, it grieves the heart of God.
And if someone says they haven't been tempted in that sort of way, they're lying.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, because if you look at anything, like you were saying earlier in the media is essentially pornography these days. I go to an Avengers movie and I see the Scarlet Witch or I see the Scarlett Johansson, and I am enthralled, I guess is what I would say.
Well,
I
your
mean,
poor
I would
wrist.
call Scarlett Johansson a Scarlet Witch anyway.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, do you think Zan, and I forgot to ask, what is your wife's name?
Rebecca.
I know
Rebecca.
Becca. She's cool.
And you don't have kids, is that right?
No, we do not. I have been having a little bit of, if I'm being frank, but again, to release the shame and not in that way.
Right.
I have been having issues in the bedroom as far as getting to the point where the thing could happen.
Well, maybe
biologically.
talk less.
Oh.
Oh, you're saying in the bedroom talk less.
I thought you were saying
getting
you're
to the
having
point
trouble.
of this sentence.
Yeah. Well, I think I've sort of found it difficult for you to get to the point in a lot of these, but I know this is a very sensitive conversation, and I'm trying to be sensitive, but it's
I fully hear you, and maybe when it comes to the point of getting to the point, what I am doing at any given moment is the first thing I have to do is put porn out of my mind, and then I have to answer your question.
And then could I point out one thing, which is, I guess my question is, what is the point once you've gotten it out of your mind to come on and talk about the pornography if it only reminds you of the pornography again? Does that make sense?
It is a shame that my job is one, my kind of volunteer job is one where I have to constantly remind myself of a thing that I'm trying not to think about.
Yes.
And how do you not think about the thing you're not trying? It's like a snake eating its tail, when somebody says, don't picture an elephant, and you're doing that constantly, but with the female form. And then again, 51% of the Earth's population is female, and they're flaunting it in front of you.
I feel like Jesus at the end of the day.
Yep.
In the sense of I've given up my ability to be happy, but at great help to the community, I would say. I mean, I'm putting on these plays, which was part of my email to you, was maybe we can do one of these plays together.
Yeah, it kind of, speaking of getting to the point, it was a really long email, Hallie, and so I sort of skimmed the top, saw the picture of the lady with the head stuck, and then invited him on. But I did wonder, Zan, what are these plays? Are you sort of acting out the pornographies without the porn part?
Exactly. And then we stop at a certain point and we say, see, you can get this kind of story without having to watch the pornography.
So what kind of stories are you telling?
Well, any which way, stories of people who like to be kicked in the groin really hard.
Oh, wow.
Stories of people. I mean, if like this goes back since the 70s, so stories of delivery men who are overly friendly.
Okay.
And then, of course, the more modern stories about family, like reconnecting with a step-parent or a step-sibling at a sleepover or something like that is very big right now.
Oh.
I had this image in my mind, Hallie, which was so powerful. And I just want to go back to that one thing you said earlier, because you said if you say elephant, you can't help but picture an elephant.
Mm-hmm.
And Zan, I'm going to give you a little challenge. I would like you to give me anything that you are trying to avoid picturing and just see if I can avoid it.
Okay. I guess the very first thing that popped into my mind from a Reddit that I follow is who is now I'm forgetting the actress's name, Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh, yeah, beautiful gal.
Yeah, see, nothing. I got nothing.
No, do you know who she is? Is that why it's an issue? Maybe you don't know who the person is, or
it's just like you could pretty much say any lady's name, and I'm just not going to picture it. I just go totally white.
Okay, so well, another one for me is young Bob Barker.
For some reason, I pictured an elephant.
Zan Different was played by Dan Lippert. Follow him at Dan Lippert Cool and check out his hilarious podcast, Man Dog Pod.
And hey, to all you recovering porn addicts out there, please send this episode to somebody that you think might enjoy it. And of course, if you want to support Mega, find out more about us, get ad-free listening, etc., go check out that link that's right at the top of the show notes. That's where all the good stuff is.